You must have been we were on different channels, I think. But that just happened recently? Okay. All right, I just wanted to tell a couple quick stories. There are funny stories on franchising too. I try to build through, like, there's one thing on there, what ethnic group is the #1 franchising group? And that's what I try to do too, because some of those groups, they network to their relatives all around the world to get visas, because with franchises you can now get E2 visas, and they always keep changing the program, but there's some good visas if you invest in a franchise. And so so no matter what ethnic group I meet, if you meet there's a lot of South Africans, a lot of Indians in San Diego, so there's a lot of, I was going to a barber who's a Chaldean. I said, well, let me try this. Most of them, and I'm not going to be stereotypical here, but a lot of them own liquor stores, and this guy happened to own a barber shop, and he said his relatives were in liquor stores. So I start talking to him. I said, I don't think he has any money my father was a barber too, and the store just looked like my father's. I don't think he had a lot of money to get in a franchise, but I just thought I'd ask, because he's probably got a lot of relatives that might want to go in something different besides the corner convenience store. So I didn't want to say to him, McDonald's, that's kind of like cheap. He says, what's franchising? I said, well, kind of like Subway. You probably know that one. He said, what's that? Okay. So I said, how about Cold Stone? I know we have a great branding. Sometimes I had problems with my franchisor, but the branding was excellent. Nobody's ever said anything bad about the branding. Never heard of it. So I think he just stays in that barbershop and goes home, back and forth. So I said, how about Jack in the Box? I mean, that's got such a footprint in San Diego. He's got to know Jack in the Box. No. So I asked him the ultimate. What about McDonald's? I couldn't believe it. This guy said that, I don't know what you're talking about. He says he doesn't understand franchising. He never heard of it. He speaks one language more than I do. He's Chaldean and he speaks English very well. We're communicating, but he's never heard of franchising. So I guess it's possible. I thought when I got into franchising, everybody knows the term franchising. Well, there's some people that don't. So has everybody got this filled out? So, okay. All right, so if they all handed them out, then I'll give the answers and I could have Tony correct them. And my last story while he's collecting, since we all came out of Mother's Day and we know how beautiful the mother is in our life. Thank you. My mother, who lived in San Diego with me the last couple of years, she's obviously lived most of her life in New Jersey, but she lived to 90. I was very fortunate. Thank you. I'll put you on top then. So I was very fortunate to have my mother, and when my mother was here, every Sunday I would make sure I take her to church because it would reorient her week. She would know this is Sunday, it's a special day. I couldn't get my kids to go, so I might as well take my mother, right? So I take my mother to church every Sunday. But I'm just trying to say, with Mother's Day, and we all think about our mothers, what a special person they are in our life. They always want to share, and I don't care what nationality, they always care about their kids forever. And my mother would always say, take half of my plate, do this, whatever. And and I think all our mothers do the same thing. And I'll never forget this story as long as I live. You don't think you're going to have a funny story coming out of church, that should be just a normal day. So I take my mother, she's in the pew. I'm amazed she could even still walk at night. I was very fortunate down to get communion. And I'm sorry if it's, I hope there's at least half the people who know about the Catholic or the Christian religions having communion, or else just the joke wouldn't make any sense. But so we walk down, she gets the host. She goes back to the pew. I come back a little later, and I walk in, and my mother looks over at me, and she looks at the host that's in her hand, and she says, "Look how big that is. Frankie, have half." and it's kind of like, I actually was speaking at a convention where Mario Cuomo was one of the guest keynoters. And he said, "Can I use that again?" I said, "Mario, use it anytime you want." So, you're going to say it a lot better than I do. Okay, so let's do this. So, okay, so Tony, you want to correct these?
Yeah.
I'll give you the correct answers. I think,
right.
And then you can do the top. You can do. Maybe there won't be more than 9, but if there is more than 9, we'll see how many hundreds there are. We'll do the hundreds, then the 75s.
No. Okay, here we go. We're ready.
Okay, what did Ray Kroc do for a living before buying out the McDonald's brothers? You gotta know that, Tony. It's probably in your training.
Milkshake machines.
Yeah. He was a salesman for milkshake machines, right? And then he bought out the McDonald's brothers, and the rest is history, right?
Milkshake machine. All right, who got this? I think I told you. I forgot to put my name on mine.
Okay. Well, you know your handwriting.
That's good. Okay, well.
And I'll definitely, at one of the later meetings, I'll give everybody one if they want one. I'll bring more the next time. I got to order more is what it is. What is the oldest franchise in the U.S.? Not in the world, in the U.S. And you can find this on the internet. It's so true. It's Singer Sewing Machine. When in 1865, not only did he produce the Singer Sewing Machine, he started letting other people sell it. So he was like the first franchisor.
What was it?
Singer Sewing Machine, 1865, right? Yeah. Nobody got that?
Walter did.
All right. Where's his smartphone? Check out Walter's smartphone.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. What nationality or country of origin has the most franchise owners in the U.S.? Asian Indians. Yeah. Don't you remember our great vice president said you have to speak Indian to go into a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts? He should have never said that at his level, but that's what he was talking about, right? So, okay, so everybody now knows the difference between a franchisor and a franchisee, right? That's a giveaway question. Does anybody have 100?
Not yet.
Okay. So start putting your 75s on top of everything. Any questions on franchising on the serious side?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a friend that has a really good business, and I would think that she would probably want to turn it into a franchise. Do you work with people like that as well?
Yeah, you know, when I had a site called franchisefrank.com, which is still there. But then when I went to Choice, I just started selling, because you go to franchisefrank.com, you see I say I'm talking about both sides. I say I'll help you start it, I'll help you buy one, either side. Yes, the answer is I can. But first and in fact, there's a website if you've never gone to. I put a course up there called udemy.com, udemy.com. I love it. All you guys could write your own course, and if you go there, half the courses are free, from video, audio, websites. It's unbelievable what's up there. But I'm going to put one on there on how to start a franchise, and that's what I'm going to start telling people. Pay me $49 and get my Udemy course, because what I really tell people, and I will consult with people, but my fee would be the smallest part, because you got to be ready to almost invest $100,000 to start a franchise. Your franchise lawyer first up front is going to take like $25,000 minimum, because he's got to file your franchise disclosure documents. You have to have a franchise disclosure document to sell franchises. And then he's going to file probably in California if you're here. And the 3 West Coast states, Oregon and Washington, you have to file the documents. The next state you got to file going east is you hit Illinois and Wisconsin. So most people start a franchise in California. They pay the heavy legal fees, get the thing filed. Arizona, you don't have to file, and they go to all these other states, Utah, Nevada, and so forth, and Texas. They sell all these franchises without the state documents. They use the federal documents. 19 states out of 50 ask for the documents. I don't know why the other 31 don't. So, in other words, that's kind of stuff I would tell them, So if you want somebody to call me, have them call me. So, but I'm trying to do that course so I can answer that question and say go to udemy.com in the future. So, any other questions? Anybody going to give me an email and we start talking? It doesn't cost you anything but time. So, surprise me tomorrow. Fill my email box. So, okay. Oh wait, who's got any hundreds?
No hundreds, yeah.
Any 75s?
75.
3 right. Any?
franchisee, what difference franchise or franchisee?
All right, he can do that later, and then I'll give the first 9 out, and then if you want the other people want to give me their name, I'll get you another one. Bring it to the next meeting or something.
Okay, we got 50%. We got a couple of 50%ers.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.